welcome to episode 145 of your almost weekly, monthly Concealed Taco Dudes podcast.
Woo! I think it needs to be the occasional podcast.
The occasional podcast. So today we have me, Taco.
Jason with Concealment Solutions.
And we're doing a lunchtime episode at the Taco Studios. So
yes.
If you hear any background noises, we do not have the acoustic excellence of the NOE studios here at the Taco Studios.
At the Taco Studios?
We have lots of distraction in the Taco Studios.
Why doesn't it smell like grilled meat if we're at the Taco Studio?
Smells like juicy fruit, because I was using that one G96 spray. I don't know if you could smell that.
I'm not getting the juicy fruit.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have been quite busy in the last few weeks or so.
Yeah.
I've been busy with youth activities. We've done a couple canyons and some other activities. And you have
I've just been moving shop.
The whole shop.
Yeah, we're in place and functioning and finally passed all my stupid inspections because I moved to a different city. Yeah, I moved a mile away and I'm in a different city, had to get a new business license.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so. But
yeah.
Everything's good, we're in place. And
I will say, I like your new location a lot better as far as like telling people how to get there.
It's easy to find.
Yeah, like with the address, you can get there.
Yeah. You don't have to drive down a sketchy dirt road and
like
squeeze between the building and a canal.
Yeah,
and then wonder which door you're supposed to go in.
Do you have any signage up yet?
Yeah. I have there's a sign out front on the lawn.
Yeah, the bigger sign
that I can put my sign on. I'll get around to doing that, but I have two of those A-frame things that have signs on them that I used for my open houses and stuff like that. I have those that I put out. So the only thing that catches people off guard, the building's a little bit goofy. It has to be goofy if I'm in it.
Yeah.
But so the front faces Columbia Lane, which is the road that we're on. But it's on a hill. So there are units on the ground level in the front, and then there's units upstairs, but it's still ground level at the back because you drive up the hill and there's another parking lot in the back.
Oh.
I'm in the back.
Oh, you're in the back. I was wondering because I couldn't see any signs in the front.
Yeah.
I drive past that.
Well, and all I have is one of my little refrigerator magnets on my door.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
But my address is right on the building, next to the door.
You should get that signage up.
I know. I will. It'll happen someday, but...
Yeah, so we are here. Too bad Stan couldn't make it.
Yeah. Because
I spent 8 hours shooting with Stan the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a really good shooting day.
Huh, good. Perfect weather.
Oh, it's been great fall weather.
It's been too warm. It's finally starting to cool off.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but...
I like the warm fall weather.
It's gonna drop dramatically next week or this weekend. Supposedly.
I heard that we might get our first snowfall.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Well, we had some up in the mountains a few weeks ago. When we had that big rain, there was snow on temp after that.
Oh yeah.
It melted, the next day, but yeah, we haven't had any in the valleys yet. But usually by Halloween, we get at least a little bit of snow on the ground in town. But
at least once.
And then
it melts.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way Utah weather works in the fall and spring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Well, you have some listener feedback. Let's jump into that.
Let's do some listener feedback, and then we can hit our sponsors after.
Okay.
So in referring to the last episode of 144, Kevin C. writes in, and he says that was a gross episode. 1 gross equals 144. Or a dozen.
Okay. I was trying to think, I'm like, what was gross about it?
Yeah, he says...
Did talk about some dead guys, that was kind of gross.
Yeah. He says, congratulations, thanks for the free podcast. I'm part way through your episode with the Big City Cop. Great so far.
Oh, good.
Okay. Jeff H. writes in and says, great stories, thanks for sharing. Referring to the episode 144.
They were good stories. It was fun to talk to Officer John.
Yeah. And then the third person who writes in, he has a little bit of critique.
He's got some He's got a bone to pick?
He's got a bone to pick.
All right, let's pick his bone.
All right, he says, and this is from Zach A. And he says, so in the last story, John shows up and this guy drops his magazine, pulls the slide back to show it's unloaded and puts it down. Then he steps aside and complies. He doesn't want you to shoot his son. After the scene is over, you start questioning the dad where... And he's talking about Officer John.
Right, what he was saying.
Where he obtained his legal firearm that he defended himself and his mother and baby with, and he refuses to tell you, in parentheses, his right and the proper thing to do. Then John proceeds to try to find any reason to charge him with a crime after John and the department take the legal firearm that is legally owned, now will not give the gun back even though there is no legal reason he cannot own the firearm, even after the investigation is over? In John's own words, the deranged son with the knives could have hurt both his grandmother and baby brother, and thankfully the legally armed father stopped him. Now the father has his gun confiscated permanently and was questioned by police so they could attempt to incriminate him. It is no wonder why this family hates the police. Look at how they were treated in a self-defense scenario that even if the gun was illegally obtained, it saved lives that he had it. Mm-hmm. What happened to innocent until proven guilty and due process? I most certainly do not agree with the defund the police movement. I truly think that criminals deserve harsher penalties for breaking the law, and I do think that there is a lot of good police out there, but this was a textbook example of bad policing.
Wow. So, first of all, I think jumping to this was bad policing is a little bit extreme, because we were putting John on the spot. He didn't come prepared with stories that he was going to tell or anything. He was just going totally off the cuff. And I don't remember if he told this on the podcast or if this was afterwards when we were talking. But the family that they responded to that had this incident, this was a house that they get called to regularly. They're also known, I don't know if they're necessarily known, but suspected.
I would say, suspected.
Of being drug dealers and stuff like that. And so when you're going to a place that is constantly a problem, yeah, you're going to look for the problems. And as far as the gun being confiscated and not given back, I mean, that's not his decision whether the gun goes back to the people or not.
Yeah, that's probably done with policy.
Right. And the city that he's working in is extremely anti-gun. He isn't. He's very pro-gun and pro-concealed carry and all that kind of stuff. But there are cities, anti-gun cities, like this one that he lives in and works in, that they have policies. If you have a totally clean self-defense shoot, they are still going to take your gun until any possible court issues or whatever are done. And then you get it back.
And it could be a long time.
So I'm suspecting that this guy probably did get his gun back. Like I said, John doesn't get to make that decision of whether it's policy that, yeah, if a gun is used, even in a self-defense situation, it gets taken as evidence and it's gone. I've known people even in good states that's happened. I believe it was a guy in Utah. His gun was gone for months before he got it back after a totally clean self-defense shooting. So, I think we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was talking off the cuff. To say it was bad policing, the way it came across, it didn't sound very good, but we didn't get all the information either.
That's what I was going to say. When I was listening to it, because I didn't, I wasn't there for the recording of it.
Right.
I would have liked to have been there to ask a follow-up question.
Yeah.
But the way,
the way he presented it
didn't come across as good as you would like, as far as, and he isn't getting that gun back.
Yeah. and that's coming from a guy who I'm sure has dealt with this individual many times, and it's just kind of like you're at the end of your, I am so sick of dealing with this guy's crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, and not to say that they should be treated differently because of that. You still need to work within the bounds of the law, which he does, but you can't blame a cop for maybe being a little bit biased dealing with people that they deal with on a regular basis.
So, and that's part of the issue, is that we just got part of the story.
Yeah, and there was a history there that we didn't get anything on, and I believe he told me that off air after we were done recording, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these guys were there all the time," you know.
Yeah.
So
it would be nice to get him back on the show, and then we can ask.
He definitely wants to come back on. He had a good time.
We should let him respond.
For sure.
And so then he can provide a little bit more detail.
And he listens to the podcast. So, John, if you're listening, you can prepare your rebuttal.
So, anyways, that's it for listener feedback. So thanks for writing in. It's always fun to hear the listeners' responses and feedback, and things we could do better, things we can do worse.
What you like.
Do worse.
Well, I've got feedback. People will place orders, and then in their order notes say something. I love the gun dudes. Keep doing it, or the concealed taco dudes and everything. One was concealed taco dudes are the best dudes.
Oh, great! That's awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, I will say, when it comes down to the time and effort it takes to put out a free podcast,
yes,
then getting listener feedback, you guys taking a minute or two to send us a little bit of feedback, it's a good motivator to keep going.
Being appreciated is nice. I have had a couple of guys, at least two lately, that have told me that they have gone back and are re-listening to
the old Gun
Dudes podcast. One order that I got this week, he started at episode 1, and in about a month, I think he said, he's into the 200s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's got brain fluid oozing out of his ears.
I'm surprised he could even put in that order after.
I know. I know. But anyway, I'm really happy to know that those episodes are still out there, and that they're people can still listen to them, because those were fun times. And I know that group, that dynamic.
It was a good.
That was unique.
They had good chemistry.
It was very unique, and that's hard to come by.
Yep, for sure.
Anyway, very cool.
Okay, so we have sponsors, and a couple of pay attention notifications, like pay attention.
Oh, okay.
So let's go ahead and hit noebulletmolds.com first.
Yeah.
They are doing their autumn sale.
Ooh.
And it's a chance to stack. I did a video on this, but it's a chance to stack the coupon code FLT001 in combination with his fall sale reduced prices on bullet molds. It's only bullet molds this time.
Okay.
And that also stacks with the $1,000 discount.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity to get a mold which is in stock currently significantly at a reduced price.
Yeah.
It's not often that you get 3 sales or 3 discounts that stack.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Making the rest of us look cheap.
It is. I think the sale has been extended to the 20th.
Okay.
So by the time you listen to this, you need to order. Like, just hop on your computer and order it, or your phone, or whatever.
By the time you listen to this, my fall sale will be over.
Oh, that's too bad, Jason.
But I am going to have an open house in the next few weeks for the new shop, to get people to come check out the new place, and I'll have. I'm actually going to try and have some more product available, so you can come in and buy what you want and leave with it. But that's hard to do with what I do with custom stuff. But it'll be fun, and it'll make it so that you can pre-order your Christmas stuff or whatever, and get a discount on it.
I need to talk to you about a holster I need.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
Okay.
What we did with guns, because this gun is awesome.
Okay.
So, anyways,
noebulletmolds.com.
Yeah. Use that fall discount.
Discounting, man.
Yeah. And then we also have, this is not a sponsor, but on my channel, you still got a couple weeks, I think.
Oh, for your giveaway?
Yeah.
You're giving away a ton of stuff.
It's a ton of stuff. It's like thousands of dollars of stuff. And there is one of the prizes, if you watch the video, is a mystery prize. But they don't know what that is, so they have to choose that if they win.
It wouldn't be a mystery if
exactly.
Is it like, do you want what's behind door number 1 or door number 2?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
there's a list of 10 prizes in the order that they get drawn. Like the first person who gets drawn first, they get to pick which of the 10.
Oh,
and
so
then I draw the
everything's
second.
not going to one person.
Correct.
Ah,
yes.
gotcha.
And currently there are 40-ish people that have entered.
Okay.
So it's like
You got some pretty good odds.
Yeah. It's like 1 in 4. There are no better odds of winning than this,
Wow.
I think. Like,
So-
how often do you enter something and have 1 in 4 chance? And obviously, there's probably going to be more people that enter in.
Sure, toward
It's
the end.
the last minute guys.
So is this going to be like, what's that old game show? Let's make a deal. Would you want door number 1? And they like, or do you want this suitcase full of cash? And you go, I'll take door number 1. And it's a goat.
Yeah, it's like a High Point magazine.
Yeah.
No, it should be all the prizes are good.
Oh.
I'll just say that.
All right.
So one guy he already responded. He's like, if I win, I'm gonna get the mystery prize because I live that way on the edge.
I live on the edge. I live dangerously.
Dangerous. So
Nice.
yeah. Anyway,
Well,
so
cool.
that's the last. Last day of the month is the last day you can enter.
Halloween?
Yeah.
Halloween is the
Yeah.
cutoff.
Spooky.
Okay.
So all you got to do is go out, shoot 10
some
Q-tips. Yeah, watch the video because it'll
Or
be a few more.
attempt to shoot.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit them.
Yeah. I went out with some friends and a couple of them did the challenge and
Yeah.
it's a fun challenge to see
Yeah.
if you, because a Q-tip even at like 10 yards
Yeah.
is really small.
Oh, yeah.
It's you got to you got to shoot well and your gun has to shoot well.
Yeah.
And so one of my friends was using the Palmetto dagger, just
Yeah.
9mm
Oh.
offhand shooting. I think he got like 1 or 2, like
Nice.
10 yards. That's still pretty good.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can find some time to do it. I can't shoot in my new shop. It's too small. But not like the old one where I had a little air gun range.
Yeah,
But
true.
I can maybe set something up in the backyard and see what I can do.
Yeah, you should. Even if you don't want to enter or whatever,
Yeah.
it's worth it to
No,
just.
I want the mystery prize.
I want to do it so I can grab that black ice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually a holster that would be great too. So. Anyways,
Cool.
so
Okay.
other sponsors, Utah Air Guns.
Air guns. I was there recently
Oh yeah.
a few times. Yeah.
Whenever I walk in, I look at the new Ed Gun Lacey 2s.
I don't.
I think those are the coolest guns.
They are, but
They're so
so
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got all these custom ones that they have like modified,
Yeah.
like with a bottle on the the
Of
bottom.
course they
and
do.
everything.
That's what's cool about Utah Air Guns is not only do they have they just have everything nice as far as air guns, from budget stuff that shoots good and is quality to super high end stuff. But then they go beyond that and they start
Yeah,
tricking out some
You
stuff.
can make your air gun unique.
right.
So you get like a main, you get a crown or whatever, and you can make that crown so it is like
Yeah.
one of a kind, and it is you.
Yeah. And yeah, dialing it in and all the accessories and upgrades, and it's cool. But apparently they were back ordered on the 98 cubic inch air tank caddies that I make for them.
Oh, really?
They aren't anymore.
You got busy.
They ordered them the week I was moving into my new shop, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll get them as quick as I can. And I actually got them pretty quick, but I think they had already had a couple back orders when they ordered from me. Another thing that they have that I think is really cool that might be, it's probably not like a featured product on their page or whatever, but if you use the air checker or wind checker, I can't remember, what's the name of the company that makes it? They make the shooting sticks and stuff too.
Okay. Yeah, I forget who.
Yeah.
What that,
Anyway, it's a little bottle of powder basically, and you open it up and you squeeze it and you get a little puff of smoke to see which direction
the wind is going.
Anyway, they have carriers basically for them that I've made for them, so you can wear it on your belt, slides in and out.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, because that's one of those things that's like, yeah, it's handy to have, maybe you're out hunting and you're setting up for a long shot or something like that.
Yeah.
And especially with an air gun, the wind makes a huge difference. But if it's not easy to get to, you just be like, I'll just wing it, But if it's right there on your belt or hooked on your bag or something like that, give it a little puff, you're ready to go.
Nice.
So
UtahAirguns.com.
Yep.
Use coupon code AirCandy. It'll give you free shipping and turret stickers.
Which shipping keeps going up and up and up. I keep waiting for them to tell us we're not doing free
we're not going to do that anymore. Yeah, and then I will throw this out that they were generous enough to donate an air gun for the giveaway.
A Benjamin, is it a Marauder?
Yes,
rifle?
semi-auto 22.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Very
another
cool.
one I think it would be fun to have. Like,
Yeah.
as my loaner gun when we go shoot the squirrels.
You need to have a couple of guns like that anybody can shoot and you don't have to worry about them, and they're
Yeah. When your loaner gun is an FX Impact,
right. Yeah.
You kind of keep your eyeballs looking over.
Yes.
Hey, don't drag that in the mud, or
Yeah.
keep that tip up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyways,
So cool.
and we have Concealment Solutions.
Yes, Concealment Solutions in a new shop. I'm liking my new setup. It's the last box was finally emptied Saturday. Well, I still have boxes with product in it that I need to set up another set of pegboard in the back to hang that stuff on. But anyway, we're up and running. Things are going well. Lead time, even through the move and everything, I am back to where I'm less than a week out. So if you ordered something custom, if you wanted, whatever, as long as it's the Kydex is something that I've got in stock, which I have quite a few patterns I try to keep in stock, but yeah, it'll ship inside of a week, which is pretty fast.
Nice.
There's a lot of holster guys out there that like to take months, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I referred a guy to you. I don't know if he's contacted you yet or not.
Yeah.
But he was looking for a holster.
Yes, I talked to him.
For his high point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a compensator on
Yes.
it. Yes. So we do need to discuss that.
Yeah.
Because I will need.
You'll need to borrow
yours. I asked him to send me a picture of his gun, just so I don't have any surprises.
Yeah.
I get people. The 3-gun guys are the best. Oh yeah, it's the same as this guy's gun that I made some custom rig for. Oh, it's the same as his. And I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. I have this and that, and send me a picture of it. And it's like,
It's
okay,
totally different.
Your compensator's different, your side charge handle's different, and these are like the 2011s,
Yeah.
Your mount for your red dot's different, it's the same thing. No, it's not. So
Yeah.
I like to, if I can't have it in my hands for stuff like that, I gotta at least have pictures and measurements so that I can.
It was funny because I usually with high point people, it's like, what?
Yeah. I'm not paying that.
I'm not paying that much for a custom holster.
They're the
my gun only costs that much.
Yeah.
But and so before referring him, I asked him. I was like, "Well, what's your budget?"
Yeah.
And then he, gave me a number. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's probably."
Yeah. And we didn't even talk price on anything, but it sounds.
Is he going to go drop leg, or is he going to go with a?
I think he just wants a
outside the waistband,
just like one of the regular Cobra holsters or something. That sounded like. Sounds like it's just kind of his.
It's a farm rig.
Yeah, this is just what I carry when I'm working and doing chores and running around the farm.
Yep.
Okay.
And it makes sense. I mean,
sure.
I guess
I don't know if I was the same guy, I would have a P365 XL with a red dot on my side.
Yeah.
I mean,
but if it's like something that just gets trashed with like hay dust and dirt and grime, and
I don't know. My guns...
You don't work on a farm, dude.
I know I don't. I work in a dirty environment, though.
You don't... Not even close
Not
to
like
a
not
farm.
like a farm.
Come on.
I get it. I understand.
So if you want a beater gun, maybe that high point makes sense.
Well, it does. It does. I just wouldn't want that weight on my hip.
Yeah.
I'd have to go to the chiropractor more often. My thing is, like, I'll have my 365 XL on my chest when I fly fish. And my son, we were out fishing once, and he was like, "Ooh, what'll happen if you fall in the water and your gun gets wet?" It'll get wet.
It'll get wet.
And he's like, "Well, then it won't work." Yes,
Yeah,
it will. I'm like, if I don't even worry about that. It doesn't even concern me at all. If I went face first into the stream, I'd get up, I'd continue fishing. When I got home, I'd take the thing apart, clean it, dry it out, and we'd be fine.
Yep.
You know? So
Yeah.
I don't fret over my guns and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
anyway.
So use coupon code Show Me
the Candy. That will save you 15%.
All right.
And at least for now, we're still doing free shipping at $100. That's probably going to change. My shipping prices have continued to go up over the years, and I just raised my shipping prices barely.
Yeah.
And not very much. My wife was sitting there, and she's the one that kept bugging me, so I'm like, I'm going to raise it to this. No, just do it $1. I was like, really? That's what you were worrying about, is $1?
Yeah.
So it's, everything has gone up. I just ordered a bunch of Kydex last night, and just like a black 2x4 foot sheet of Kydex is $10 more than it used to be. Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's significant.
Yeah.
That's a significant bump, and my holster prices haven't gone up.
Yeah.
So
it's a problem. I think
it's with
nationwide.
everything.
Yeah,
With everything.
Even with Al, he pre-purchased like all this metal.
Yeah.
Right? Brass and steel and aluminum.
He saw prices going up and he found a deal, and
he just ordered a ton. He's like, I even with that, he still has to raise prices.
Yeah.
Because the raw materials are costing more.
Yeah.
So.
Luckily, we haven't had a lot of issues with shortages. Even when it was really bad during COVID, I was still able to get everything, and I think that's primarily because I sourced my materials in the United States.
Yeah.
So that
even Al though he saw some,
but he's working in an industry where my niche is very small.
Yes.
There, people who are buying the Kydex and the type of Kydex I'm buying that's a small group of us, to be honest. Where he's buying metal and aluminum and brass and stuff like that, that goes to a billion other types of manufacturing.
Yeah.
So
true.
Yeah.
All right.
Black ice coatings. You talk about black ice coatings.
Black ice coatings. I took out that my 9mm AR-15 that he Teflon.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing.
I
think I'm at about. I think I'm close to 800 rounds.
Yeah.
Without cleaning.
Nice.
Totally.
Yeah.
Functioning flawlessly. I think when I get to about 1,000, I'll take it down and do a cleaning video or something.
Yeah.
To see how easy it is or hard it is to clean after.
Blow the carbon
and
off of the.
This is like probably 3/4 of the rounds are suppressed. So
so super dirty.
Super dirty, right? Like it's kicking back, and it's a blowback, so it kicks all that carbon right back into the action. So
yeah.
Just.
Does it even feel gritty or?
Nah, it just runs flawless.
Yeah.
It runs great. So, blackicecoatings.com, use coupon code SLICKERY, and he might smile at you. But give him a call and get a quote on what you're looking to do. I need to talk to him and take that 308 down and do the flying pigs.
Yeah, I've got another bike I'm going to have him do.
Yeah. Let me know next time you're going down, because I might just send my gun with you.
Okay. Yeah.
So, just depends who gets there first.
Yeah. And then we have magholder.com. I meant to text Ricky before he came over to see if the double stack 45s and 10mm mag holders are in production. I know 2 weeks ago they were supposed to be going any day now. So, may want to run over and check out the website, but those should be available now, but I can't confirm that. But I know I've been waiting. I want one for my 10mm. But anyway, go check them out. Use the code Get in the Van. I have candy. And it's like 20-something percent.
21, 22%. Something like that.
Something weird.
But the best horizontal mag carriers around. And they
great.
have some tactical gear. I think some belts and some other stuff.
Yeah, he's got some belts and some like mouse pad things, or not mouse pads, gun cleaning pads and stuff like that. So just kind of some cool little swag things.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check them out. All right, are we doing self-defense in the news?
Let's do self-defense in the news next.
A North Carolina woman who had never fired a gun before took aim and pulled the trigger Tuesday morning, wounding a burglar who busted into her home, and now the crook is behind bars. That's pretty good. Never fired
a gun. So I would assume she bought it for self-defense, protection, whatever.
Or it was somebody else's in the home and she was
Used
by
it.
herself or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, okay, interjecting here.
Yeah.
If you buy a new gun, please go
Get some training.
And
it doesn't mean you have to sign up for a class and pay hundreds of dollars and spend hundreds of rounds of ammo. You know, find somebody that's
even
like,
if you
I'll take you to the range and
find an experienced friend to just show you the basics. Like it would be good.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You can continue.
Thank you. Tarika McAllister, 29, woke up before 6 a.m. to her dog barking and a loud bang at the back of her home on Bear Lane in Dunn. She lives in Dunn.
Done. Just done.
Another reason to have a dog.
Yeah.
Even if it's not ferocious. Noisemakers. Although, I don't understand why somebody's breaking and they hear a dog.
Hear a dog.
Anybody in the house knows you're coming now.
Could be a yapper.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
It's an alarm, right?
Yeah. What time did they say?
6 a.m. So not super early.
That's weird. Like, that's not very...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's early, but yeah. Crazy.
It says, then she saw a man taking some of her belongings and trying to steal her dog. What? And she was all by herself. So she's by herself. All right. If you come to my house and you try to steal my dog, you're dead. My dog, those of you who've been to the shop know Henry. He's the friendliest guy in the world and he loves everybody. If somebody broke into my house, he would probably be excited that he had a new friend. He would probably willingly follow them home.
Although he has a good bark.
He can, yeah. He can sound very ferocious.
And he's got like a head the size of a...
And he could do some damage if he decided to, for sure. He's all muscle in his head. Anyway, McAllister hollered at the man to get out, to no avail.
Wow.
So she opted to let her gun do the talking. Who is writing this? We're hollering and all kinds of things. All I did was turn around and grab the gun, McAllister told the station. I was fumbling with it. It's my first time using it. Despite the terror of it all, McAllister had the presence of mind to turn off the safety and take control of the ordeal. So she's at least played with it.
Yeah.
Maybe dry fired it and stuff like that. Knew it had a safety. I just lifted it up and started shooting at him wherever he was moving to. I just shot him out of the house. As you should. Malik Giles was found about 200 yards from the home with a gunshot wound to his right lower leg and superficial gunshot wound to his right side. Okay.
So he got shot twice?
She's better shots than a lot of experienced shooters have had on intruders. Giles was taken into custody, and after his wounds were treated at a hospital, he was taken to Harnett County Detention Center under a $75,000 security bond on charges of first-degree burglary and possession of stolen property. Giles is 20.
Did he have the dog at the moment?
He was still in jail Friday morning, so he doesn't have any friends to bail him out. At least nobody with $75,000.
Yep.
McAllister and Giles do not know each other. She says women should arm themselves for protection. I know a lot of women are scared of guns. I feel those are the best protectors for us because we can't fight a man. We can't fight an intruder off. Give your gender some credit. I think sometimes you can. But you're right, a gun is a better option.
Yeah.
Although she admitted that she's still shook up, and it's difficult to be by herself right now, McAllister told Rowell police station, I guess, she feels stronger now and better prepared if another home invasion occurs. I took action and I'm very proud of myself that I stood up for myself as a woman, she told the station, adding that I did what I had to do and I'm glad I did what I did. Good.
That's awesome.
That's a great story.
I agree with her. I think women should arm themselves.
I think, yeah.
Everyone should.
Really, and I think she needs to give her gender a little more credit because there are a lot of women out there that are perfectly capable of fighting off an intruder, and so are a lot of men, and a lot of men aren't capable. But is that really? Do you really want to engage that close with somebody?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Usually, this is generally speaking, women are smaller.
Yes.
Way less than...
don't have the same muscle tone.
And if you look at any type of sports, like combat sports, wrestling, whatever, you always compete with your weight class. So if you were to see, like, even someone who is a great wrestler, who's in the, 95 or whatever, wrestling a heavyweight or something, the heavyweight would manhandle him. Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, well, I agree
you should learn self-defense techniques, but a firearm is the great equalizer.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to what we did with guns.
Okay. I've mostly been moving, but I have had my Marauder out in the yard fending off the sparrows.
The sparrows from the chicken coop.
Yeah, I did get a good shot. I took one off the top of the roof with a shot to the eyeball.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't aiming at the eyeball, but I'll take it anyway. I mean, it's a sparrow at 25 yards. It's,
Yeah, not quite as good as
tiny target.
Between the eyes shot on the jackrabbit.
Oh, jackrabbits are huge.
I aimed between the eyes, aimed a little high for drop, and it hit him square between the eyes. Wow. It was awesome. And it was like, I think it was like 50, 60 yards.
Wow.
It was a decent shot for
an air gun. It's a good long shot, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's about it for me. I did. Was it 2 weeks ago? I was at the Blade Show West up at Salt Palace. I have a customer that's a custom knife builder out of Montana. His name's Eric Fritz. Great guy. He called me. Hey, I'm going to be at the show. I've been making sheaths for him over the years, and we've never met. And he's a Gun Dudes listener, so that's how he got in contact with me way back when. But he's like, hey, if you want to come, I'll get you a pass. You can come hang out. And so, he got me a pass and said, bring some product. So I brought a few things to show off and met a lot of knife makers. And here's the interesting thing. So when you go to gun shows, there's always, and maybe you guys that aren't there all day long like I am when I'm at a gun show, you might not see this, but there's always just some really weird people. Yeah. Like, there's one gun show series that I was doing, and this girl, she was a teenager, young teenager. Yeah. And she must have been there with parents that ran a booth, because she was there all day long. But dude's like elf ears and dressed up like Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, what the crap are you doing at a gun show? But just weird stuff like that. And just really odd people, right?
Yeah. Any time that you get that amount of people in a space, you're gonna, the odds are a certain percentage are gonna be wackos. Yeah. And so I went to this knife show. I've never been to a knife show before. And I'm sitting at the booth with these guys and some really cool guys, like master bladesmiths. Mm-hmm. One guy had been on Forged and Fire twice, and I think he won it both times. Oh, nice. He was sitting. His booth was right next to ours, and he was cool to talk to. But so I'm like, what are the knife freaks gonna be like? Yeah, I'm familiar with the freaks at the gun shows. Yes, and if you're one of the freaks, I'm sorry, I don't mean you. The other ones. The other ones. And
So I was there an hour before the show opened, and so I was wandering around and talking to some of the knife makers and basically offering my services and making sheaths and stuff like that, because they all make crap sheaths.
Yeah.
There were a couple that I was like, wow, you actually did a pretty good job on that sheath. And do you like doing that? No, I hate it. Well, here's my card. You know.
Did you have any that you could show them?
I had just the stuff that I'd made for Eric.
Okay.
And my stuff's not normal. I don't like square edges. I don't like 90 degrees. Everything.
Yeah, well, you've made me...
Everything's very
I think,
organic.
3
Yeah.
knife sheaths. And
Yeah.
I actually showed one to my brother-in-law last night. Came over for dinner, and yeah, he's impressed. I said, yeah, if you ever get a knife and you want a good
And that's the thing.
sheath for it.
And that's what I was telling these guys. I'm like, you know, I at least with the custom knife makers, because there were a few people that were just doing like production stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but there were a ton of custom knife makers there, and it's like, I think the cheapest ones, you could get some smaller ones for a couple $100, but most of them were $500 to $2,500, and I'm like, you know, your customer is spending that much money on one of your blades, and then when they get it, it's in this dorky looking
sheath.
functional but not attractive sheath, and they're like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, you know, I can make you stuff, you know, send me your knives, I'll make them, send them to you. And then I was like, the sheaths that I do are going to enhance the value of your knife. It's not going to detract from it. And so hopefully we'll get some business from some more of those guys. But anyway, so I'm wandering around talking to these guys, and all of a sudden they get on the intercom, okay, we're opening the doors, and da-da-da. All of the sudden, there are people sprinting through the auditorium to, is it Squid Industries? They do like butterfly knives and stuff like that. I think they're a foreign maker.
Huh.
But anyway, and they're all like these younger, I'm guessing they were probably out of high school, but not that long out of high school. Maybe some of them were high school. This was Friday morning. Anyway, sprinting like in hordes. I'm like, holy crap, what is going on? And so when I made my way back to the booth that we were at, like, what was that sprinting? I'm like, what were those people going to? And they're like, and these are all like
The
custom
knife guy, yeah.
guys, you know, and they're like, oh, it's like Squid Industries. I think it's Squid Industries or something like that. It's like, they make a plastic butterfly knife. It's all plastic, so you can't cut yourself. He's like, and there is like this following of these people that buy them and they do tricks with them. And this, so then the rest of the show, I'm seeing, and they're like, we call them flippers. I see these flippers, and there was never one. They were always in groups of at least like 4 to 8. And they're all just wandering around, spinning around these things and doing tricks with them. And a couple of times I wandered back to that area, looking at the other booths and stuff, and there's like guys videoing and doing all. I was like, this is okay. These are the knife freaks, the flippers. If you're a flipper, sorry. It's like the new fidget spinner.
Yeah.
You know, but it was, and then they all have these like totally stone cold serious faces as they're walking around spinning these plastic butterfly knives. It's awesome. Anyway, that's all I did.
With guns?
Yeah. Hey, knives and guns, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. All right.
I did his buddy, Master Bladesmith I was next to, he ended up taking, that was at least close to $300 worth of stuff. I brought my personal fishing chest holster that has the zombie piranha on it. He wanted that. And I'm like, well, I can make it out of whatever you want.
But
well,
he wanted
I like
that
to fish. I'm like, really? Like, but that's mine. He's like, well, you don't have to. I'm like, no, it's okay. And he's like, you want to trade? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'd really like a nice kitchen knife. And he had this nice Damascus steel chef's knife sitting there. And I pick it up, $2,500. I'm like, I can't afford that. He's like, that's okay. I'll make you something cheaper. I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna send him some more stuff. But
that's awesome.
I'm excited to get a good kitchen knife.
Yeah. Well, you can see a couple cases, gun cases. So
I'm shocked that you bought guns.
Yeah, I did sell a couple, but I think I'm at net 8
So far, I'm not overly impressed. Oh, I'm not impressed at all now. I am disappointed.
This is a Tactical Tom approved purchase.
It is.
Here.
It absolutely is.
So, some of what I did with guns, I cast a bunch of bullets.
Okay.
So, I picked up a couple of new molds from NOE.
Okay.
They're lightweight 40 cals.
Uh-huh.
And one of them's like a 160, one's a 135.
So you needed a 40 cal gun?
So I needed a 40 cal, so a gun in the devil's caliber.
Yeah.
And, you know...
I guess if you're going to have a gun with a pointless caliber, you might as well have it in a pointless gun.
Yeah, right? So I
just made so many people angry when you tell them what this is.
Yeah, so this one is a PX4, Beretta PX4,
and that's
in 40 cal.
Is that looks like the compact, or no? That's the full size.
No, it's like a full size or something. It holds 14 or 15 rounds. Yeah. And this one has that rotating,
the rotating barrel.
Yeah.
So all of you who are Beretta fans, and particularly PX4 fans, who I have now alienated. The PX4 is a decent gun. It's a good shooting gun. It's reliable. There's nothing wrong with it except all the stupid controls and the ergonomics.
Ergonomic wise, I actually like it.
Yeah.
So I took this out on our shooting day this last week, and I had some old ammo. It was some traditionally lubed Bumblebee bullets.
Oh, okay.
Local company.
I've got a bunch of those.
Yeah, I had some ammo I made like years and years ago. I don't know, maybe it was like 10 years ago.
They're like a waxed lead bullet.
Yeah. I kind of hated them and stuff. After you know, casting my own, getting into casting, then it's like I can cast it, size it exactly how I want it.
Right.
And not have all that waxy lube on it.
Right.
So I had all this 40 cal ammo that was loaded that it was sitting in my, you know, ammo closet. And so I decided to test the gun out and shoot a bunch of that up. And I still have some more. I need to just blast it all out. But anyways, then I can reload the brass.
So how did you like the PX4?
I actually really liked this gun.
Yeah?
Yeah. It shot really well, low recoil. I don't know, maybe part of it was because I was shooting 10s, a lot of 10 millimeters that day.
Yeah.
And so I switched to the 40 and felt like I was shooting a 22.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is very controllable.
Yeah.
What is everyone talking about the 40 being snappy? And this is not snappy at all.
Right.
So, yeah, anyways. But yeah, a nice used PX4, and I think originally I thought I'd buy it if I, you know, shoot all the test loads I was going to do, and if I didn't like it, I'd sell it. Yeah. This one I'm going to keep.
Nice.
So this will be one of my permanent 40s.
Wow.
So, yeah, I picked up that. Really like it.
Good.
And shoots really well. Shoots the cast bullets for it, too.
Don't ask for a holster for it.
Yeah. I don't think I need a holster for the 40.
I'm kidding. I make holsters for them all the time.
Okay, the next one, I was at Gunny's, and I was actually going to look at this. Wyatt, the manager at Gunny's, had a 1911, a SIG in 40 cal, because I told him I was looking for a...
That's a weird combination.
Inexpensive 40 cal. It wasn't inexpensive, but it was a good deal.
Yeah.
And so I was going in to buy that, but then he showed me this.
Something more weird.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because I shoot a lot of handguns, guns, rifles, whatever, and I had not really heard of the Grand Power P40 in 10 millimeter. And as, you know, because I was asking about 10 millimeters, and Wyatt showed me one, and he's like, hey, I'll let you borrow, like, the store one or whatever. Or, I don't know if it's his or the store's.
Right.
But I was like, well, you know, how about if you, you know, give me a good deal, then I'll just buy one.
Yeah.
And so he gave me a good deal on one, and I figured if anything, I'd go shoot it, hate it, sell it, right?
Yep.
Not lose too much money because I got a good deal on it. This thing is similar to the Beretta PX4.
And is it a 40 or is it a 10?
This one's a 10.
Okay.
So it's a polymer lower, and then it's got that, you know, like a steel.
It's a weird looking slide. with all those angles.
Oh
on
yeah, so it's machined. It's rounded on the top, but
No,
it
it's
has. But it has instead of just being
it has square
a
edges all the way
smooth-
around it.
It's not pokey or anything.
No, it looks
It's kind of stylish.
It looks like if you took a piece of cardboard and bent it around
it.
something, it would have all those little
The little
square
lines.
lines.
Yeah, the machine quality of this pistol is amazing.
Yeah,
Yes, it's when you take it apart and look at all the parts and everything.
and it's
machined very well and polished.
It's got a twisting barrel too.
It has the rotating locking barrel like the Beretta PX4.
Huh.
And this one, is pretty impressive that, shooting 10 millimeter, you get a little bit more snap to it, a little bit more recoil. And
How many rounds does it hold?
the magazine holds, I think it was 14 or 15.
Okay.
So I will say the magazine spring is crazy strong. So
It's like almost impossible to
almost
get your last
impossible
round
to get that
in.
last round in.
Yeah.
Everyone was joking about that. Like it's just
Not worth it.
just load up like 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
But the grip on this, because it uses metal mags,
Uh-huh.
then it has a skinnier grip
Yeah.
than what you would think. Like with the Glock 20,
Yeah.
that thing is like a brick, right?
Yeah. I refer to it as the clown gun.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
clowns have giant oversized shoes and giant oversized gloves, and that's the gun you carry if you're a clown.
yeah. Anyways, the grip is very ergonomic. I like it. This gun overall, like at Gunny's, they have it for $600,
Wow.
and for as high quality of that gun, how that gun is, you would expect it to cost more. You'd expect it to be in the price range of like a SIG or a CZ, more expensive. But that thing, it shoots really well, very smooth shooting.
Yeah.
We were trying to determine if it was less recoil than, say, like the Glock 20. I brought a couple buddies. They were kind of newer to shooting handguns, and they said that the ergonomics of that, they felt like that made it recoil less or recoil smoother because of how it felt. But I believe that because of the nicely machined guts of the gun,
Yeah.
that it makes it smooth, which makes it, the recoil feel a little bit less.
Yeah. It's interesting. The grip it's got lots of weird cuts in it that
Yeah.
don't make sense until you grab it.
When you grab
And
it,
it's like,
then
oh,
it feels
now I understand
good.
why it is
Yeah.
that way.
So it's a hammer fired
Yeah.
double single, but
Ooh.
well, you're feeling the double action.
I am.
Go ahead and cock that
Oh,
hammer.
I did.
Yeah,
It's
the trigger's really nice on that single action.
it's not nice on the double action.
Well, obviously.
It stacks pretty good. But no, it's interesting. For $600, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have like another 10 millimeter day, and then I'll bring, because I had also brought out my Rock Island Armory 1911 in 10, in the Glock 20. It'd be cool to bring this and then your XDM,
XDM
in 10 millimeter and just kind of compare the different guns.
I think the best shooting 10 millimeters, just as far as comfort and accuracy and all that, are the 1911 platforms. Just because you're going to have a little bit more weight to them. The trigger, I think, is going to be a little bit nicer and stuff like that. But
double stack 10 millimeter 1911s,
doesn't
reliability sometimes
Yeah.
is not as
For sure.
as good. So if you want something with capacity,
I'm all about the combat Tupperware personally. I like That's
So-
probably why I don't care or worry about my guns, because they're
yeah. Anyways, Grand Power, it's made in Slovakia.
interesting.
So, the other side, yeah.
I had not had any experience with those, so
Yeah, and it has traditional rifling, and it appeared to shoot the jacketed and cast bullets just fine.
Nice.
So I was very pleased with it.
Yeah.
We put a lot of rounds through this, and considering that it was 10 millimeter and we shot hundreds of rounds through it, it's pretty good.
yeah. 10 millimeter wears out the wrist after a little while sometimes.
Yeah. I need to do a video of that gun and just kind of maybe take it apart, show the machining on the inside. But it was great. So besides that, I mean, we shot so many guns. I mean, for 8 hours at a time or however long we were out there. And I was testing some loads. I didn't get a chance to test the lightweight 10 millimeter, but I want to do some. But also, when you
didn't have in that 8 hours, you couldn't.
Well, I didn't have time to load it yet.
Oh, I got you.
Because traditionally speaking, if you're going to do some cast bullet loading and shooting, you want to have at least 2 weeks of time after you cast it before you shoot it to allow the bullets to harden.
Oh.
So in that 2 week period, they actually harden
a decent amount. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you're shooting like hollow points and you don't care, you want to keep them soft, then it's okay, but still best. If you're testing it in gel or something, you want it to be like what it will be like.
Exactly.
After it sits for a while.
Sure.
So you can see in the pile of bullets, I have all these bullets, projectiles.
Like the hollow points.
Yeah, those are like a 188 grain hollow point, but then I think with the hollow point, it brings it down to about 180. So those are going to be fun. And anyways, I did a ton of casting. I did some soft casting, and that's instead of water dropping, you drop them on a towel,
and the lead stays softer that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you water drop it, then it quenches it, makes it hard. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did a lot of stuff with that, but anyways, I've been super busy with guns and outdoors and stuff. I have some other guns that we shot that I want to wait till we talk, or till Stan can come and we can talk about some of the stuff we shot. But I will say the dagger, the PSA dagger. Yeah, that's the high point killer.
It's that the
Glock 19 clone.
Yeah.
I have now put probably, I don't know, about 600 rounds through it. Yeah. 600-700. It's hard to just put a ton of rounds through it.
Remind me, what did you pay for it?
$300.
Well, that's twice what you pay for a high point.
And it had the optic cut, the threaded barrel, and the suppressor height sights.
But you can get a high point for $160.
160, yes. But
I understand where you're going, where you're coming from. I totally get it. But
so a high point usually comes with, I think, 1 mag or maybe 2.
Yeah.
And some of those deals that Palmetto's going with right now, I saw one that was like 10 mags, and
jeez.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. Huh. That gun, we were feeding all my junk ammo and random ammo. Uh-huh. So I had 1 mag that had some lightweight truncated cone cast bullets and some round nose bullets and some subsonics, some lightweight hollow points. Like, it fed everything flawless. Huh. It has
it's never had a hiccup.
Never had a hiccup. And I look at that and I'm like, man, this would be a nice winter carry gun. Yeah. Like, especially since I've been shooting it so much.
Is it a Glock 19 size or 17?
It's the Glock 19 size.
And do they do the other sizes?
I think they're going
full size? But that's all they're offering right now?
The dagger right now is just in the Glock 19 size.
That's perfect. Anyway.
And the grip feels good. Everything about the gun feels great. Yeah. So if anyone's out there who's looking for like a cheap gun, I was going to say, this guy who was going to get a holster for his high point. Yeah. Man, I'd grab a PSA dagger and replace the high point. But if the high point does what he needs it to do, it's fine. He already has it. But if someone is looking
but it would be half the weight on his hip at the same time.
And twice the capacity, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is looking for an inexpensive gun that is super reliable and made by a company that has amazing support, customer service.
I did, something else I did with guns. A kid that was on the bike team, his dad is a friend of mine, owns the bike shop I go to, called me the other day, hey, I want to build an AR. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can help you. I'm moving. Give me a week. And I went down to the shop and we pulled up a bunch of websites and Palmetto and stuff. And I said, here's the list of stuff that you need. This is what you're looking for. I recommend, this, and this. Yeah. I don't recommend this and this and this. But, and there's a few things where I'm like, that part isn't really that important. Just get one, you know. And so, but I did point him toward, I'm like, here's a deal on Palmetto right now, and it comes with a pistol. That's really hard to beat, but I haven't talked to him since. It's been a few weeks, but he carries a Hellcat, so I got him a couple holsters for his Hellcat and everything, but I think he really wants to build it.
Yeah, and that is very understandable.
That. Yeah, and I totally get that. And so I just said, okay, here's where you go to get these things. Here's a couple options. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know when you got your stuff. Come to the shop and we'll put it together, you know. So.
Just don't chintz out on the barrel.
Yeah.
You know, get a decent barrel.
Yeah. The barrel and the trigger are what make the biggest difference.
Yep. That's what I tell people too.
And the stripped lower makes no difference. I have not seen a stripped lower. I guess you can get a bad one. But spending $150 on a strip lower, it's just cosmetic.
It's all cosmetic.
If you want something that's got the skull hanging off of the mag well or whatever, cool, go for it. But I made that mistake. I spent $150 on this super high end lower. I hated it. It's the only gun that I have ever built, the only AR I've ever built that there's always a little bit of slop between the upper and the lower. This was the worst I'd ever seen. It was so bad I just got rid of it.
Yeah.
And that was the most expensive lower I'd ever bought, you know. And putting a different upper on it didn't make a difference. And I was like, no, I can't do it. So I'm like, dude, just go buy an Anderson. If there's a deal on a Aero Precision, they're a little they're a little nicer looking, but they're not crazy expensive either.
Yeah, and
they're good quality.
We are pretty lucky or blessed to live where we live.
Oh yeah,
we have all these gun shops, and I'll say I'm a super huge fan of gunnies.
Sure.
I go in, I talk with the guys, Wyatt, whatever.
Right.
They give me good deals on stuff. I was in there the other day, and this was, I guess, it's been a while, but I needed a couple lowers because I had bought some other parts and I just wanted to complete them. And you know, they didn't have like a sale, but I was like, hey, would you give me a deal if I bought like 3 lowers? He's like, sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you build a relationship. You build a
relationship with your you know, instead of just always trying to find the lowest price online and you know,
And Gunny's is a good shop. Those guys know what they're doing. They have deep inventory, you know, and yeah.
Oh, I was going to say too, I got some primers as a test. They're these Russian Murom.
Murom?
Murom primers, and I got those from Gunny's, and that was... I just wanted to...
Russian ones? I thought we hated Russia and banned them on everything.
I have no idea.
But smuggled into the country.
For people who are wondering, they do work.
They make things go bang.
They'd go bang every time. At least we tested about 500 rounds.
Oh, okay. So, that's a decent test.
And so you got to give kudos to Gunnies for having primers in stock when they're actively searching from distributors and everybody and alternative locations.
How much were they?
So these ones were, I think they're like $70 or $80. So they're still pretty expensive.
Too much.
But if you need to shoot, I bought them knowing that I was gonna do some tests. You know, that way other people, because sometimes when I'm in Gunnies or you know another shop or whatever, I'll see and hear people like. They're like, oh, you don't have, you know, CCI, small rifle. Yeah. And, you know, the shop guy will say, well, you know, we don't have those in stock right now, but you could use these. These work. And because it's not the exact primer, they won't. Yeah. No, I need those.
Well, but I mean, you could be talking about somebody that's dialing in some precision load that they're building for hunting or for competition or something like that, and things like that can make a difference.
Yeah,
but for most of us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you can use other primers. Like you can learn how they work, how they act, whatever, and just test them out. But a lot of people just.
Well, now's not the time to be picky.
Yeah, they're picky on their primers, and they'd rather spend, you know, these crazy prices for the Federals. Yeah. And you're like, ouch.
Yeah.
You know, those Russian ones, they'll work just fine.
Yeah.
Because these guys are loading like 300 blackout and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dang. So, anyways. Well, we are out of time. We have a fun story for the next episode.
Yes, we do.
We'll have to push that till later.
That one will be fun to talk about with a few more people if we can get them.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Have fun.
Yeah. Be nice to people and get out and enjoy the colors.
And shoot some Q-tips.